Comeback Yoga is a Denver, Colorado-based nonprofit that provides free, trauma-informed yoga to the military community. And when we say community, we mean it. Veterans, active duty, their friends and family, their clinicians, you name it, we will be of service to them. We don't do this out of some fancy studio or some cool office. We don't have either one of those. Trust me. We go to where the military is already comfortable. We go to military-focused locations, so military bases, American Legions, Elks, etc. We go to where they are already comfortable. We offer these classes throughout Colorado in person, and we also offer these classes live over Zoom as well as YouTube Live, which has meant that we have not only a local audience, but an international audience as well. Our organization was founded by scientists. So guess what? We're science-based. Our goal is not to get you into a crop top and turn you into a pretzel. Our goal is to downregulate your nervous system by connecting breath to movement, by teaching breath techniques that can switch you from fight, flight, freeze to rest, digest, and rational thought. It's all rooted in science, and that's why it works. Our yoga works as a tool alongside more traditional modalities that helps increase and enhance our students' overall well-being, and that's way more than just a yoga class. Our classes can be life-changing. Maybe it helps someone sleep better, but our classes can also be life-saving. When you have learned to take a moment and breathe, that may be the moment where you decide not to make the choice you can't take back. We also have teachers, right, that teach these yoga classes, and to them we offer additional, again, free training. These trainings are about post-traumatic stress, military sexual trauma, military cultural competency, accessible yoga. We provide these additional trainings so that our teachers go into the classroom with as much knowledge as possible so that the military community gets the best classes that we can offer them, because frankly, that's what they deserve. And our students see an improvement in everything from insomnia and anxiety to chronic pain and athletic-related injuries. Our classes and Comeback Yoga as a whole is truly for everybody. Everyone is welcome. No matter how big or small we are, we're very small, trust me, we're gonna serve 12,000 students in 2022, okay? That is a 20% increase over 2021, and the need continues to rise. So for our small board, our small staff, 12,000 students. I think that's pretty impressive. Thank you. I'm here to introduce Dr. Mandy Ravenhorst. She is the program manager for the Ascend PTSD Residential Treatment Program at the Rocky Mountain VA Medical Center. She's worked at the VA for almost 10 years and is still sane.
So thank you so much for having me here today. I love teaching veterans the brain science that drives the trauma response, the overactive threat response. Leading groups on the biology of PTSD allows me to nerd out and connect with people at the same time, so it's like a super double win for me. I first met Ned and Margot Timble when they presented at a staff meeting in the PTSD residential treatment program at the VA. Probably in 2014. I think Ned was teaching some classes there on the unit. And I didn't know a lot about the science behind the yoga, but I knew that the feedback that we were getting from the veterans in the program was really good. And as a data nerd, as a science girl, I was really interested in learning more about it. Part of my role on the unit at the time was to track our program evaluation data, and veterans consistently rated yoga as a helpful treatment activity. They had the option to rate all of the activities they engaged in the program on a scale of 1 to 5, so 1 was the least helpful, 5 was the most helpful, and across the years, yoga was consistently rated as a 4, which was really strong, right? One of the most helpful activities we had on the unit. And then they had an opportunity to share written feedback, and so some of the comments that are pretty typical of those that we received were, I never thought I would enjoy yoga, but I'm looking forward to continuing it at home. I utilized every chance I got. I learned so much about centering and me. Yoga relaxed my system every time and lowered stress. I really, really enjoyed looking back through those comments. And just while I was preparing for this talk, I hadn't looked at those data in a long time. And my favorite comment I came across was just someone who had written, "Yoga is legit." I was like, yeah. The gift that Comeback Yoga provided to the veterans and to the program is invaluable. Treating the whole person is important, and the instructors helped make that a reality. They also did this for our staff by providing trauma-informed yoga for us as providers. I remember attending staff classes with Ned, Margot, and other teachers when I was pregnant with my youngest kiddo. He's 6 now. And it just have such warm fondness for the way you took care of us, the way you took care of our veterans, and how consistent that mission was. I am in awe of how this program has grown since it started. And I just feel really, really lucky to be part of this today. I really appreciate being asked. Amazing things are happening here. Yoga is legit.
John Evans is a lot of things. He's a singer-songwriter. He's from New York. He's a Comeback Yoga Veteran Ambassador for 2022. He's a yoga teacher, and he's a veteran advocate. John also served as a medic while deployed in Iraq in 2003 and 2005 with the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment based out of Fort Carson.
Thank you all for being here and supporting this incredible organization. In my yoga teacher training, what I learned most was that I knew very little about yoga. And that the thing that I knew of yoga was this pillar called asana, which is the physical postures, the poses and postures, and that it actually is just one of 8 limbs of the practice, and it has a really practical and important reason for its existence, is that if practiced, the practitioner may have the good opportunity to live a little longer. And, but that didn't just stop there. It was so they would live longer so that they may serve longer. And that took me back a little bit because of just how kind of high-minded that is. And, you know, it turns out it's really not about impressing people by being able to throw my leg around my neck like a scarf or look hot in yoga pants, although I do. The idea is really to tend for and care for this vessel which contains my spirit. Yoga has been a form of healing for me, truly. Today, I understand that the highest form of service that I can provide is to do my own healing work and to shine as bright as I can and to heal and be willing to talk about that process. And I found yoga through Comeback. And so it has greatly supported me over the last few years, and I can't really begin to express my appreciation for the service that this organization provides this community and the veteran community, so I just want to say thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and it's great to see all of you again. And it's so much fun to see people in person. So what I'd like to do is tell you a story about one of my beginning experiences with teaching yoga at the VA hospital. I volunteered to start teaching in the PTSD residential unit that Mandy talked to you about. And at the PTSD unit, it was required to take a couple of classes. So what that meant is we ended up having people in the class that were completely opposed to being there. What I'm remembering is a particular guy, but he was wearing short pants and cowboy boots when he showed up to the first yoga class. The conversation amongst the students was, what am I doing here? Why do I have to do this stupid stuff, you know? There was a lot of skepticism. And so I just went on teaching the class, and I wasn't that experienced, so I didn't know what to expect. And the next week when I came back to teach again, this guy showed up again. And I was really surprised because I thought he would never show up again. And by the 3rd time, he was all in. That experience was repeated so many times in the PTSD unit, where people were very resistive to start with, and then they continued to come back because they actually felt better. And so to all of you, I'm very thankful to have had the experience to be able to help people like that. And Comeback Yoga has just taken it a mile farther. And I'm so appreciative of Kelly and the rest of the staff and all of you that have supported Comeback all this time. And I'm just going to pass the mic to Margot.
My dad served in World War II. He never spoke about it in our family. My dad's aging was dominated by depression, and I attribute some of that to his war experience. He absolutely hated serving in the military. He hated sitting in the lobby of the hotel in Manila after Manila had been completely destroyed and the Americans had then returned. Ned's dad also served. It affected him in a similarly negative fashion. Eventually, through years of disappointment, he took his own life. This was some of the impetus for us to learn more about the brain, trauma's ramifications, all the evidence that has mounted in particularly the last decade. The book, The Body Keeps the Score, published in 2014, which got it back on the New York Times bestseller list during the pandemic. It was so relevant. These are tools that we have tried to integrate into the mission of Comeback Yoga. And we're really excited that here, entering the 9th year of Comeback Yoga, that as you can see from all the evidence in front of you, yoga is legit. And it's legit for this population of men and women and their families and their communities that have served and upheld this country and our freedoms. Remember this, the brain is an incredibly powerful part of your body. You do need to care for it. And yoga's legit, Comeback Yoga is legit. I hope you will support us.
Right? Our classes and our students have increased dramatically since the pandemic. Our funding has decreased by 23%. Those don't add up. We have to continue to be there, so we need our community to help us. Our programming must evolve so that we can better serve the community that we have dedicated ourselves to. We need more resources so that we can reach Black veterans, Spanish-speaking veterans, and LGBTQIA+ veterans. We need your support so we can continue to provide new mats, blocks, yoga props, so that the men and women who served our country can use the best stuff. It's what they deserve. And finally, we need to be able to have more classes, which means more teachers. We need the resources to be able to do that. There's no better way to thank Margot and Ned for their pioneering, life-saving organization than to support Comeback Yoga today.
I don't want much. Spend my days as I see